All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome here for the first time, probably, most likely. I don't know who watches these videos. Anyway, it's Battlefield 5, the open beta. Started a few days ago, decided to pick it up, which was actually a pretty interesting decision because I tell you what, I did not like Battlefield 1. I didn't like it at all, and I don't want to start off a video on a negative note, but, you know, I'm going to take a look at Battlefield 5, play the beta. I'm going to talk primarily about the gameplay because I'm running on an old computer here. It's about 3 years old, and I love it to death, but it's only got a 970 in it, so I really can't show off the graphics in this game because, I mean, I can run it on pretty high settings, which is pretty cool that I can do that, to be honest. But at the sacrifice of frame rate, and I'm not willing to make that sacrifice. I like a good, at least steady 30 frames, but I really prefer 60. And I can get 60 on low settings, so I'm going to play this game on low settings, and that's how I'm going to show it to you guys. So, I guess talk about the menu while we're in it. The Battlefield 5 still retains the old menu from, you know, that they started kind of in Battlefield 1, where it's like this big tiled, fancy-looking crap, and, I mean, it looks beautiful. Look at this guy back here. Look at these guys. Fucking slow camera pan. You got some particle effects, some lighting going on, a little bit of texture pop in there, but that's okay. It looks beautiful, but goddamn, do I hate it! like menus are things that should be quick and easy and snappy and like, you know, intuitive. You know what I mean? And like, it's not. You know how you exit the game? You go over to this tiny little fucking thing up here in the upper left, and you click that, and then you have to go down here to quit. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. You know? And then so like, I should be able to click over here if I want to go back. If I'm on this menu, I should be able to click over here and go back to the game. I have to click on that, and then I get to go back. It's not good. It's not good menu design. I really wish that people would learn this stuff. You know. Anyway, so you know you got your options here, controls, you know, gameplay. What was that? Okay, crosshair color. Interesting. So you can see here, I got it set on 1920 by 1080, 120 frames a second. Got my field of view cranked up a little bit higher than default because why wouldn't you? And you know the advanced stuff. Whoops, that was my fault. That was not bad design. Everything's on low, pretty much. I switched it to auto minimum latency, that's a good feature. You know, I don't have to fuck with each individual thing. I kind of just went max fidelity. Low, medium, high, ultra, custom, minimum latency, max fidelity. The default was max fidelity, actually. And like I said, it looks pretty good, but I'm not going to show that because I think frame rate is more important. Personally, I like to play better frame rate. Anyway, let's get into the game. And then, so you got multiplayer. You have some like war story stuff here, but I haven't touched it yet. I'm gonna play Grand Operations, which is like the new kind of big deal game mode, I guess you should say. Before we get into the game, I will specify that I've played about 2 rounds of this before, a total of 1 hour of gameplay before making this video. So I know a little bit of what I'm doing, but not a ton, which is, I guess, more entertaining. I'm trying some new things for this video. I am trying to keep it to 30 minutes. We've already burned through 4. So I'm going to have to try to get my points off pretty quick. I'm also, because I have a mechanical keyboard, and I refuse to get rid of it because I love my mechanical keyboard, I'm putting a towel over the keyboard. So hopefully you guys won't be able to hear the incredibly loud sound of clicking keys like in my previous videos. I hope it's going to work. It's a little bit annoying, but it's actually surprisingly doable. You know what I mean? All right. So we've got this great little overlay. We've got our 4 classes: Assault, Medic, Support, Recon. It's all the usual stuff. I can click on my dude here to spawn on him. I'm spawning as Assault because Assault's cool. Alright, so I'm just going to play for a few minutes and, you know, journalistic integrity, right? You want to, oh god. You want to talk about your biases before you start being critical of something, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you about my biases. I'll start out. Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 4 are some of my favorite games ever. I spent so much time playing those games when I was younger, Especially Bad Company 2. I was like, what, middle school, high school? Probably high school. I don't remember. But I fucking love Bad Company 2. Still one of my favorite games of all time. Battlefield 3, not quite as good as Bad Company 2, but still a fantastic game. Like, up there in the top 5 all-time games, probably. We have picked up an explosion. It's fun as playing. Oh, no way! So I saw in a previous game that you could shoot those down if you were on the other team, but I didn't know you could actually jump at it. That's pretty cool. All right, I gotta stay focused. I said I was gonna talk about my biases, not the gameplay starting off. All right, so Battlefield 3, great game. Battlefield 4, not quite as good as Battlefield 3, in my opinion. However, still, it's comparable. To me, it's basically the same. It's just newer, which is fine. The only thing I didn't like about Battlefield 4 was that some of the guns, I wasn't a fan of them. Like the main guns, like the Battlefield 3 kind of just had the M16, which you started out with, and it was pretty much one of the best guns in the game, and that was totally cool. Like all the default guns were like awesome, and I love games where you just start out with the best stuff. And you know, it's only if you get like really specific tastes that you need to switch. This guy's sniping me, a little bitch. All right, he got me. Got him 2 or 3 times though. Alright, so, first aid. Give me some first aid, please. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. So, Battlefield 1 came out. Battlefield 1 was set in World War I, which, when they revealed that, I thought was the coolest shit ever. I like history, personally. I like reading books. Oh, come on. Oh, he's got an accurate gun. I like reading books about history. I have specifically read a book on World War I called Storm of Steel by Ernst Younger, which I enjoyed quite a lot. And I just love war history, guys. And so when Battlefield said, hey, we're going to make a World War I game, I was just super stoked. And then, you know, they came out with it, and I played it, and I fucking hated it! Oh, God, I'm out of ammo. Nope. Caught a hot one. Battlefield 1 was not a good game. It probably took about 2 days of me playing that game for me to come to the conclusion that I had wasted $60. And to this day, I am angry about it. Battlefield 1 is probably the #1 reason I will never pay full price for a video game ever again. And I am confident in making that statement. I could see myself paying full price for a game again, but I will never buy it near the launch. Like, I will wait several weeks for reviews, and like if those are all positive, I might buy it. Because to me, Battlefield 1 fucked me. If I'm being completely, utterly honest, I've never felt like I've wasted more money in my life. Well, you get the idea. Wasted $60 anyway. I'm angry about it. The game was bad. The gameplay, the guns did not feel good. The historical shit totally boned me, you know what I mean? Because, like, I was expecting ye old bolt action in ye old trench and, like, charge, comrades, woo! Like, you know, whistles going and shit. No, it was the same Battlefield. Like, they just said everything's a machine gun. You got red dots. What the fuck? In 1935, you got red dots. The vehicles in that game were unbelievably overpowered. It was so dumb. You know, oh, we're going to have tanks and howitzers and shit. And, you know, the best thing we're going to give you as an individual infantryman is a fucking, like, cannon that has a shit range and it's only for support. And, you know, everyone else could just get fucked, you know. And, like, I had so many experiences of just getting destroyed by tanks and planes in that game as a dude. And it was shit. It was so frustrating, you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to do things as a person, like, as an individual guy just dropping in like this, you know? I need to start spawning further back, because this is too much. And so, I played about 2 or 3 days of Battlefield 1 and dropped it, and I hate it, and I'll never go play it again. It's a real big disappointment to me. So, I am not exactly, like, fanboying over Battlefield 5. I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this game. I'm like, no, like, I'm going to be real critical of it and not look forward to it, and I'll wait for the reviews to come out. So, now that that's all out of the way, how are we doing on time? Oh, all right, we've burned through 10 minutes. I'm 1/3 of the way through. So now that I've talked about that and you're clear on my bias and where I'm coming from on all this, I think that Battlefield 5 is not going to be like Battlefield 1. So far, I've had pretty good time with it. And so, as I keep talking, I'm going to talk about the direct comparisons between past Battlefields and Battlefield 1, which I am excluding from my group of past Battlefields, because past Battlefields, to me, are very nice and good things that I remember fondly, whereas Battlefield 1 is a hot, steaming pile of shit. And so I'm separating Battlefield 1 from past Battlefields, to me, personally. To me, this feels more like past Battlefields, and that's a good thing. However, there are still issues from Battlefield 1 that I think are affecting this one. Chief among them, I'm going to talk about right away, just in case we never come across this in the next 20 minutes. The vehicles still feel really overpowered. However, thus far, it hasn't been a huge issue because the maps are so massive and there aren't very many vehicles. Like, you can only get like one or two. But there was, like, the last game I played before making this video and I was testing stuff out. There was like 2 tigers on the enemy team. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how are we supposed to deal with this? All I have are mines and like 1 stick of dynamite. Also, all like is 1 stick of dynamite. It does 15 damage to the tank. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So it's very frustrating, and that element has been unfortunately retained. But on the other hand, so I don't want to be super negative, some things that are very good. The guns feel fantastic again. They feel like what I consider Battlefield guns. I'm holding right now an STG-44, also known as the Sturmgewehr 44, which is a very real and historic assault rifle. But assault rifle. It is the OG assault rifle, one might say, if you lend credence to the term assault rifle. And it feels fantastic. And I played as a medic. With a Sten gun, and that felt fantastic. Everything feels like it has good range. Like a lot of shooter games fall into this trap, at least in my opinion, of saying like, oh well, that's an SMG, so you can only kill people at short range with it. We're gonna put so much damage fall off on it that if you try to shoot anyone at medium to long range, it's gonna be garbage, and you're not gonna be able to do anything, and you'll be worthless. Not so in this. Like, I had multiple times. I have engaged people that were sniping me with sniper rifles with this, which is an assault rifle, an automatic weapon, and I have just kept my fire very slow and deliberate, and I have gotten good hits on them and killed them multiple times, and it's very satisfying to just kind of, you know, take a deep breath and remain calm and aim and take a shot, you know. Oh, that's a lot of guys, holy shit. The guns feel really good. The recoil is not too much, but it's also enough that you have a very good incentive to not go full cyclic and calm down and do short control bursts. And that applies to the assault rifle, the longer range assault rifle. It applies to the medium to short range submachine gun. The pistols have felt pretty good. I haven't done too much sniping, to be honest. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do some sniping. I don't like snipers in these games in general, but you know, for the sake of research, I suppose you say. Oh, great. This is good. See, this is why I don't like snipers. Chief among them, this guy who's poking up his head. And come on, poke your head up again. So I aimed over his head because I was anticipating some bullet drop, which is a common facet of Battlefield sniping, which is something I really agree with and enjoy. Oh, I watched it happen. I watched him fire the shot, and then my brains went all over the snow. It's right there. You see them? You see my brains? I should say, when you go down, this is a somewhat new system. Instead of getting like an overall view, you are just your guy, and you're watching yourself die, which is real funny the first time it happens in a morbid way. But you can choose to speed up your death and respawn like in traditional Battlefield fashion, or you can call out to friendlies, which is even more of a traumatic experience because the guy literally holds out his hand and goes, "Help me!" And it's just it's real sad. But it's awesome in a way. Ooh, good shot, buddy. And whoop, 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 he's behind the pole. Come on, you bitch. Is the guy alive? Or is he still dead?
Good, we've taken objective Able.
What is going on? Shot him in the butt. Oh, he's gonna kill me now. Come on! How am I missing these shots? Shot him in the neck. How many rounds are in this? 10? That's impressive. Oh, look! I have to reload each individual one. Excellent. Good. That is
there, soldier.
good. Hey, what's up? So yeah, in summation, I'm trying to see how much drop is on these sniper rifles. But the guns feel really good, which is a fundamentally important... Oh, got him. Oh, let him. That was perfect. Having good feeling guns is, I think, one of the most important things about a shooting game. There are games I would almost argue could totally survive on their own purely by how good their guns feel. Killing Floor is one that comes to mind. The guns feel so fantastic in that game that you could almost take out all the other cool shit, like the fucking thrash metal and the zombies and the gore, and you could just have those good guns, and it would be a good game. And I think the guns... Woo! I think the guns feel pretty good in this game. So, you know, write that one down. Pretty important, at least for me. Check mark. The movement feels pretty good. Feels really snappy. You know, it's the same as Battlefield. You can vault over things. You can crouch. You can prone. You know, I think it feels good. More importantly, along the lines of movement, the servers seem pretty stable. Which is surprising for a new game. Oh, I don't want to spawn as recon. God damn it. Like I said, I dropped my when I first opened up this game and was playing it. It was defaulting to high settings, which looked very nice. But I was getting a lot of stuttering. It was dropping below 30 frames. I think it was hovering around 24. Like I said, I have a 970. I hope I said that earlier. I have a GTX 970 in this rig and a 3600K Intel processor. It was a good rig 3 years ago. It is not a great rig anymore. It's dated, but drop down to low settings, and this game runs really well. I'm getting a consistent 60 frames. If I wasn't running my capture software right now, I'd be getting a consistent over 60 frames. The recording is running at a consistent 30, which I think is fantastic. And you know, it doesn't look too bad, honestly. Ugh. Doesn't look too bad for being on low settings. So, you know, par for the course, this Battlefield looks really good. What else can I talk about? Team play feels the same. They've messed around with some elements here. So, like, I haven't figured out how to give people bullets yet in this game. I'll switch back to Assault and try to do that. Can I shoot through this little gap here? But yeah, it retains all the usual stuff. You know, if you're a medic, you can give people health, you can revive people. If you're a support, you can give them bullets. But one of the interesting things that I think is different from the last game, unless they added it in later or something, is that if you're squad lead, you can call in support elements, which means that you can drop supplies, and like you can call for tanks and stuff, which I mean you can call for a tank to be dropped, not just like a magical crude tank to come down and kill everyone. So you can call down for stuff, which is really cool because in these really big maps, several times I've called for supplies and like was genuinely like glad to have it. It really helps to have that. You guys didn't shoot at that guy? I don't want to be a recon. So you can drop supplies from the sky, get a little crate, get some bullets. There's supplies scattered around the map at the control point, so like you have an incentive to capture shit, so you can, you know, grab some bullets there, which is pretty cool. You got like your classes have all the normal stuff, like, you know, you've got your melee, you've got your grenade, you have like two pieces of equipment for this guy. It happens to be a gun that shoots grenades and a stick of dynamite, like a satchel, basically. Although it is not as effective as C4 was, as I remember it, which is a huge bummer. It should be. Like I said, armor is not fun. And the grenade gun is a bolt-action rifle with a grenade-firing adapter on it that shoots a hand grenade, which is that guy's far out of its range. A little weird because, you know, traditionally if you had a rifle-launched grenade, you would just shoot. This would be your primary rifle. You wouldn't carry a separate rifle just to shoot hand grenades out of. You know, typically you put the adapter on for the grenade, the cup to sit in, and you fire blanks, and the blank is what propels the grenade. So it's weird, but whatever. It's gameplay choice. Respect it. See that? Did you see that? that felt so good. You know, I was firing automatic for a little bit there, and I was missing, and so I calmed myself, you know, got the Zen on, and you know, was able to put some precise shots on that guy, and it felt really nice. That was a lot of kills I just got there. Okay, they're glitching out a little bit. That's I almost forgot to mention this. So this game mode, right? Like, you can build sandbags and emplacements and stuff like that, and I actually haven't even messed with that yet. Maybe I should. Let's see. It's a Tiki, right? Oh, Tiki. Let's put down some sandbag stuff. What did I just do? Am I building something? I'm just trying to build walls, man. Don't kill me. So you can build emplacements and stuff. I haven't messed with that too much yet, but I will say it's interesting. Like, there was a lot of controversy, right, when they announced that stuff. My hand's getting real sweaty under this towel. There was a lot of controversy because, you know, people were like, oh, it's going to turn into, like, bases and all that crap. I haven't seen that yet, but in my opinion, it's gotten interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. That's a death trap. It's gotten interesting because the map fundamentally changes throughout the course of the game, and that's pretty cool. There's one of these ammo points I was telling you about. Like, when you start out, you know, it's just whatever's on the map, but as you go along, people build more and more stuff, and so, like, you come across an area you were at, like, 5 minutes ago, and all of a sudden there's, like, a big, like, a fort almost. Like, there's, like, a couple walls, and there's, like, a machine gun and stuff. So it's actually pretty interesting, I think, because, you know, the whole thing with Battlefield that I really like about it was that back in the days of Battlefield 3 and 4, the destruction was, like, the novel thing, right? But the destruction, it's cool because it's fundamentally cool. You're blowing up buildings, you're blowing up people's cover so they can't just sit in one area. You're forcing people to move, and you're forcing the map to change. And, like, in Battlefield 3 and 4, that was so cool because the map fundamentally changed. You would start off in a town with a ton of buildings, and by the end of the game, you could end up with all the buildings leveled, and, like, you wouldn't have any cover, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to be like, oh, you'd have to, like, run in between trees, and you could take the trees down too. Like, it was really cool. Sometimes you could level an entire building to capture a point when you were playing Rush, back in the good old days when Rush was the main game mode. Not that I miss it, which I do, actually. But, like, that was fucking cool. And the problem with Battlefield 1, one of the biggest things, was that the destruction didn't fucking matter anymore. Like, you could take out walls of some buildings, but there wasn't a lot of buildings on the maps. And, like, you know, there were train carriages that were just, like, in the way a lot. There wasn't any, like, interesting destruction going on. This map, however, I can say over there's, like, a little town, and it's pretty cool when you start the map, and that town's real nice and pretty, and by the end of the map, it is a pile of rubble. Like, that has happened in the last 2 or 3 games that I've played, and it's really cool. Also, a lot of individual things are destructible now. Like, I was hiding behind something like this, and like a stack of wood, like boards, not just like loose sticks, right? And I was totally fine to bullets, but then a tank came by and blew up my cover and killed me, and it was a great cinematic moment. That I was upset that I got killed, but I was stoked that it looked awesome. Oh man. Which I should add, the sound in this game is still fantastic. Some of the best in video games ever. The explosions going off around you, the sound of fully automatic machine gun fire cracking over your head is fantastic, and it's awesome. And it never ceases. Like, that was one thing that Battlefield still has never fucked up. I should say DICE has never fucked up yet. Is their sound design is always amazing. It's always fantastic, and it's still present here. What was I talking about? Destruction is really good. I'll add another thing in there. Last game, I got into a truck, a half-track, and you can use the half-track to actually tow emplacements, like machine guns and anti-tank guns, like 7.5 centimeter gun. And that's really cool because in some way, maybe the ability to do that kind of stuff might come into play with the vehicles being overpowered. You know, perhaps if I could move an anti-tank gun up on a hill somewhere and totally wreck the tanks in a matter of seconds, that might balance the fact that the infantry individually can't do too much against them. Maybe, but I'm skeptical, you know what I mean? I'd rather just have a dude spawning with a rocket launcher and being able to do stuff. Which, by the way, I should mention... ooh, grenade. This class that I'm playing as right now, at level 4, you unlock a Panzerfaust, which is an anti-tank rocket launcher that is historically accurate to World War II. Oh, God! Into the lion's nest. Anyway, so maybe that will help counter things, too. I don't think you can unlock it in the beta. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure I'm level 4. I might be only level 3. We'll see. Regardless, I haven't seen it deployed yet. So yeah, I only have 5 minutes left in my self-imposed timer. Actually, I only have 4 minutes left. So, you know, we'll finish this game. We got 8.5 minutes left in this game before someone wins. I'm actually not sure what the new UI means. So, like, in this game mode, it's extra confusing, right? Because you have multiple... Oh, God, what did I just do? Squad spawn. Okay. This game mode is kind of like a combination of conquest, but it's like over multiple days. So, you know, we do this map, we win this map. You can win to varying degrees. It's like, oh, we captured the points and held them for longer, so that means that, you know, no one won or lost, but it means when we go into the next day on the next map, we'll have certain advantages if we did better in that game. Like I said, I still haven't... Oh, his head evades me. Come on, I felt like that was pretty good. You'll have certain advantages. I just don't know how it works out exactly, because like I said, I've only put like an hour or two into this game, and half the time the game straight up ends when I'm done with the round, so I haven't got to experience that yet. But it's crazy, and it feels good. This map, I feel like, is designed well. There are unique parts of it. This part, I've had unique fights on this part. I've had unique fights up in the hill, in the town. It's kind of cool. It's pretty big, but because of the way the objectives work, I feel like everyone's playing as a team pretty well. And there's like a battle line, you know, a defined battle line here. Which is, I think, a very important part of the Battlefield experience, is the fact that you feel like you are on a battlefield that is actually changing with your actions. My biggest thing that I've told many of my friends about, you know, the old Battlefields was that I loved it because you could join by yourself and have a good time with like 60 people, and it would just be crazy, and there'd be explosions, and it'd be really cool. It'd be fun. You could just hop in, hop out. You don't care if you lose, whatever. But if you were with your friends, hey buddy, hey, what's you doing? Oh, mid-hit G. The towel's fucking. If you were with your friends and you squad up, you as like 2 or 3 people that were acting together could... Come on, dude! We kill each other. I felt like I hit his head a couple times there. Anyway, you as your friends could just say, guys, you know, F this giant, like, fight that everyone's in, this, like, bedlam where everyone's just getting murdered over and over again. Like, let's just get in a car and drive around the edge of the map and cap that point in the back. And you would do that, and you'd be successful to varying degrees sometimes. But if you did, you would then force the whole enemy team to break off a few people and go retake that point. They'd go deal with that problem. And by doing that, you've changed the entire flow of the battle. All of a sudden, you've taken what was a gridlock where no one could do anything. They were just shooting each other over and over again, and no one was capping anything. And you've, oops, sorry, buddy. You've changed it up. Like, you have taken enough action to change the battle. And I thought that was super cool. You could see there were some games where you could literally, like, perceive the line of battle moving as the game progressed. You know, like, sometimes we're fighting over here, then we push them further back there, then they flank around here, now we have to deal with that, and so they can push through there. That was what made Battlefield so freaking cool, and so good, and fun, and replayable. And by having 2 hours of experience playing this game, Battlefield 5, I think we'll be able to do that in this one. I think it's gonna have that Battlefield factor to it. And so I'm going to start summing up now because I've run out of time. Oh, no, I said I was going to do 3 more minutes. I should start summing up anyway. I'm a really good speaker, guys, I swear. I think I'm looking forward to this game. I had fun with it last night. No, not last night, a couple nights ago. Playing with my friends, we squad up. They are not, well, at least one of them, not very much into shooters. The other, we've been playing Overwatch together, the 2 of us, for a while, and getting tired of that game and its competitive nature. Because, you know, honestly, I'm a really competitive person. Personally, he's a really competitive person. I don't want to speak for him too much, you know, but... and, you know, sometimes you have a couple shit games and you just don't want to play the game, you know? Like, you just want to stop playing and you don't have anything to do, you know? There's not a lot of casual fun to be had after a certain point, you know? And, to me... Oh, Battlefield is casual fun. You hop in... no one is taking this game super seriously, and if they are, they need to reevaluate themselves. Like, you just have fun. You hop in, you play with your friends, you maybe accomplish some objectives, and if you don't feel bad about it because there's fucking 40 other people on the team who could have been doing a better job too, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a real good team experience, you know? You don't feel like if you're doing a bad job, you're fucking your whole team over. And likewise, if someone on the other team is doing a real good job, unless he's outright hacking or aimbotting or something, he's probably not going to be able to single-handedly ruin your game. You know, whereas you cannot say the same about games like Overwatch. Like, you could have just one real good dude on the other team, and your whole game's ruined, essentially. Like, you can't do anything about it. So, to me, I hope this game turns out well. So far, what it's got going for him, in summation, the guns feel great. The servers feel good and working, which is, goddamn, it's something to say for a game that's in beta and releasing soon, that they can actually make their servers work. The sound design's still great. The destruction is better, I feel. I feel like they've taken it back to Battlefield 4 and 3 days. Actually, I would argue Battlefield 3 days, because Battlefield 4 really cut down on the destruction, too. I feel like the destruction is more and better and more cinematic and impactful so far in this game, at least in this game mode. So that's another positive. The supports feel good. I haven't messed around much with the base building, whatever, you know, trademark, copyright, base building mechanics. I don't feel like they have ruined the game outright because they have so far not significantly impacted the game. They're just kind of a cool little thing that's going on to the side. The vehicles are overpowered as far as I can tell. Still, I'm watching out for that. That was one of the biggest things that ruined Battlefield 1 for me, was the fact that 2 dudes in a tank that would just sit in the back corner of the map could basically dominate the whole game, and that is shitty. And so I hope that this game will not be like that, but so far it hasn't been. As you can see in this game, I haven't seen a tank all game. I don't know why, but I haven't. So that's good. The timer's gone up, so apparently I don't know how this game ends. So, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm excited for this game. I've had fun with it. I plan to keep playing it with my friends. I will not buy it on release, and I will most likely not buy it for full price either. Probably wait until it's $40. Assuming other reviews come out from more competent reviewers, not me. Professionals, one might say. And I want to see if it's going to remain stable, if the vehicles are going to be balanced more properly. I'm probably going to build a new computer later. And, hey, look at that! I don't know, the timer said 6 minutes, right? You saw that. And, but apparently it's the end of day 2. I don't know why. We captured 3 sections. I honestly don't know if that means we did good or not. I assume it does mean that we did good.
Right through them. The Germans are reeling from our assault and now scramble to evacuate from the field of battle.
That sounds good.
There is no doubt that your victory has secured the fortunes of Norway.
There you go.
You struck a blow at the very heart of the German machine.
Now, see, I thought I was German because I had a Sturmgewehr 44, so I don't really know what's going on here. Oh, well, that's Charlie Squad. I thought I was in Charlie Squad. Oh, that was my last game. Anyway. Looking forward to this game, having fun with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm trying to keep it short. I don't want to make hour-long videos anymore. I don't think anyone wants to watch hour-long videos. It's not like anyone watches my videos anyway. But I appreciate you watching, guys. keep a lookout for this game. I'll keep playing it with my friends and keep having a good time with it. I will catch you next time.